We're recording. We're live. That was nice and fast.
Oh,
That was too
nice.
fast. I'm not used to not having to fight with auto host. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, after Twitch was not working last night, it's working fine tonight.
Yeah, it's a
It's
shame.
almost,
It like
yeah.
started half working, like 15 minutes late, but it's like,
Yeah.
God, people
Yeah.
gotta get up in the morning. We can't be going 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Mainly, I have to get up in the morning.
Yeah. Pretty
Way too
much.
early in the morning.
Oh, too early.
Anyways,
Anyway.
we're back again. Only
Yeah.
one day late.
Yeah.
Episode 11, Season 8.
Mm-hmm. The finale of our two shows for Akka and Lance.
Yes, and the not quite finale of this season?
Yeah, not quite.
Question
But,
mark? Yeah, we've got some
yeah.
ideas.
Yeah. We'll figure that out at the end, I think.
Yeah, yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get right into it, I guess.
We got relevant news for our shows.
Yeah. News that I saw posted like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah,
It was great timing on this.
we
Yeah,
got
Aka's getting an OVA and a musical stage reading.
regards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
the
sister's gonna
video.
be highly relevant in the OVA. I'm telling you now.
Yeah,
I will be
probably.
right in the end. We'll get to that though.
Hmm.
I was actually at the bookstore today.
Yeah.
It wasn't my plan, but I was carpooling home from work with my mother because it's easy
Hmm.
for us to do that.
Yeah.
And she needed to stop at the mall, so I just went into the chapters,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Don't you start buying Akka volumes now? You can't afford it." So I bought a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, "Damn it!"
Hmm.
I told myself I wouldn't buy anything until the end of March, and then I end up, or I said anything not on sale.
Yeah.
It had to be on a really good sale to justify buying it, or like personal sort of helps, not help, but like uh, stuff that's good for you. Like I bought a binder to put all my anime in, and then I'm going to like store the cases away so it takes up less room, like stuff like that,
Hmm.
like constructive stuff, like a new pair of headphones for listening to stuff at work while I work for 8 hours so I don't go insane because
Yeah.
the right headphone has died in my
Oh
current
no.
pair, and it's been like that for a month, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh no.
So yeah, where I bought a bunch of graphic novels and manga on extremely good sales. So I bought a bunch of Blame. I bought
Hmm.
the last of Blame. Gonna catch up on that whenever it arrives. But yeah, today I broke that promise and bought some full price manga, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I also didn't realize it was out, so I was really excited. So I got Inspector 9 and
Nice.
Gung But yeah, I'm on a huge tangent. I'll get to that. I forgot what we were talking about. Akka. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost bought the manga
Yeah.
because I was saying I was so ready to buy it all, but all I
Hmm.
had to do was remind myself it's like they made the very clearly
Oh
based
yeah.
off like Dubai country, the
Yeah.
villains.
Yeah.
Remember that moment of racism and not spend all the money on this right now. I still
Hmm.
might buy it because I still think it's interesting of a
Hmm.
manga, and who knows, maybe Lilium won't be
Yeah.
evil, but maybe it'll be someone else in the manga.
Yeah. Maybe. Or maybe they won't be quite so Middle Eastern in the manga. Maybe that got played up for the anime or something. Who could say? But yeah, the kind of the last thing about this OVA is that in this little preview video they posted, it's Nina reading a letter to Jean, asking him what they were thinking that time, and that's the only details. So that could mean anything.
It sounds gay.
I hope so. But yeah, that's kind of all the news this week. I mean, there was other news this week because Anime Japan happened. So there was a ton of announcements, but I didn't think any of it was interesting to me, at least. I don't know. Unless you want to talk about like ReZero season 2 or something.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I did have one thing that's completely unrelated. It's Akka, but I just had the sudden realization that the Lilium
Mhm.
family is the Lily family, and they talk about how their country is the best because it has like all of the fucking flowers and it makes everyone
Flowers. Oh,
happy. It's
yeah.
just the land of gays. They not only took like uh Muslim coded people and made them
Mhm.
villains. They also coded the villain's country with like gay iconography. So and some of
Yeah.
those characters are kind of portrayed in ways that are kind of more feminine, like
Mhm.
for men. And they literally made it a gay Muslim villain, and that's they queer coded and racially coded their villain, and that's not good. That's really
Mm.
bad. I'm even more
Yeah.
upset now.
Oh.
Damn it! I'm so glad I didn't buy that manga. I'm so upset because it's so good. Well, I'll rant about it later, but I
Yeah.
was gonna forget if I didn't say it now because I literally just had that realization. I'm like, wait, Lilium is the scientific classification genus name for lily. Oh, it all makes
Mm.
sense now. The author
Yeah.
hates Muslims and gays.
Huh. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that before. But yeah.
I'll still probably watch this OVA because the
Yeah,
OVA
I
might be
will.
gay. It might be gay, like
Maybe.
queer baiting. Who knows? I don't fucking.
Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
That we will.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That does it for news this week. So yeah, what have you been up to this week? Been watching or reading stuff?
well, I accidentally started going into a tangent into some
That's
of the
okay.
stuff I bought already
Yeah.
because it be like that sometimes. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm actually not caught up on Inspector. Where the other thing about was the Gun Gale uh, light novel Volume 3 came out, which
Mhm.
ends right where the anime ends.
Oh.
So I need to read that still, but I know it happened, so it hasn't been priority. I've been reading other stuff priority over it.
Yeah.
I've been catching up a bit with Inspector. Not recently,
Mhm.
but I had been. And I didn't watch any anime this week. I didn't watch any
Ah.
cartoons either. I didn't watch anything,
Wow.
weirdly, besides, of course, our shows.
Yeah.
But I
Of
did
course.
read some stuff. There
Oh.
was new chapter of Tatoi Todokanu Ito da Toshitemu, which is this love that won't reach, secret crush on my sister. It's not her
Oh.
actual sister. This is one of the
Yeah.
ones where she has a crush on her brother's wife.
Oh,
So it's
that
like
one, right?
sister-in-law. Yeah, this is the one where the brother's still alive, because there's the two. There's the other one where the brother died.
Oh,
This is
right.
the
That
one
one
where the
too.
brother's still alive. Yeah, it's like the two differences. It's
Yeah.
the brother is dead. It's light and fluffy. The brother's alive. It's dark and angsty. It's like, wow, that
That's
seems
weird.
backwards.
Yeah.
They're
Oh.
both pretty angsty at times. Yeah, the other one is Ani ni Yome to Kurashite Masu, which has like 50 chapters, and
Mhm.
this only has 22. But stuff happened, and I was like, okay, I want more stuff to happen because
Mhm.
it was a short chapter. Which
Yeah.
made me sad, but yeah, I really like it. I need more. But yeah, so chapter that came out, read that. I read about half of a manga called Shonen Shoujo 18 Kin,
Mhm.
um, which Yuri baits, but it's definitely not going to end up Yuri because it doesn't have
Oh.
the tags. But it's a high school student who is she's like the alumni, like she's the honor student of all honor students, except she's addicted to erotic manga and wants to draw her own,
Oh,
and just her insane ideas from it. It's written by Kuzushio, which is the main reason I started reading it, who is the author of
mhm.
Inugami-san and those
Oh,
series. So
yeah.
I love the art, I love the characters, because Kuzushio is good at those. This is one of their older series, which is probably why it isn't actually Yuri. This is probably where it's like, we're gonna do one that just is etchy and hints at Yuri, and then was probably like, wait, shit, I really like Yuri. Maybe I should just do Yuri. That's my
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, it's only 20 chapters, and the first 9 were translated, so I've read almost half. So that's nice. Read more Mage and Demon King Queen. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mage and Demon Queen. I don't think I've ever actually pulled that. It's online. It's a webtoon. It's very good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend checking it out. It's really popular too.
Mhm.
It's got like on average like 60,000 views for most episodes,
Wow.
up to like 63, 64, which, that's 60,000 people interested
Yeah.
in one of the most incompetent gays I've ever seen. It has a 9.8 rating, which is amazingly high,
Yeah.
like, for how many people, read it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It definitely deserves the popularity. I think the author said it was near the end of this arc, and then it would go on a hiatus for a bit, then come back with the next. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it.
Cool.
Um, Besides that, I've caught up on the Blame issues I own. So I
Mhm.
read volumes 2, 3, and 4 of the Master Edition.
Yeah.
I adore the art. The story's really convoluted, but still, it's just like fun. Like it's convoluted in the way where you need to just not think too hard about it and just go with it,
Mhm.
and you'll have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, at the store, I almost bought a bar because they had that. I'm like, oh, I could get more Tsutomu Nihei. But I'm still waiting for my last 2 issues of the Master Edition to arrive to finish that, so I'm gonna wait and do that first before I buy more.
Yeah.
I did flip through some pages of Opossums though, because they had it.
Mhm.
The art is very different. It's like a lot cleaner. Where Blame uses a lot of like negatives and like blacks and a much more scratchy uh, sort of style, where it's like a lot of like lines. Opossums is the opposite. It's like very light lines, not too many, a lot of white space everywhere, like very
Mhm.
little like details or sort of like extra lines. It's like very, very overly clean, which is really interesting. So I'm curious, because of course the art will change the tone of the story. I'm really curious to see how that story is to work with
Yeah.
that, and just how Tsutomu Nihei's art has evolved, sort of. But I noticed something really weird that really confused me and pissed me off. Why the fuck
Uh,
are light novels constantly in oversized trim, and then the manga companion of like the same series is like the standard size and smaller? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't you have the one where you wanna read the like see the pictures? Shouldn't the art be brought to the forefront and made large? Why are you making the one that's just printed words the larger one? That seems
mhm.
backwards to me.
That is weird. That is
Yeah.
backwards.
Or at least have them the same size. Like, why is one size, one the other? I guess to differentiate the two? I don't fucking know. It's weird.
Oh,
I
that
almost bought some
is.
Clockwork Planet light novels.
Oh no! Don't do that to
Almost I
yourself.
didn't. Hey, the manga was better than the anime, so maybe
Oh.
the light novels will be better than the manga.
Well,
Also, I am gay and trashy for cute robot girls who
true.
talk about being slaves. Rip me. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Besides that, it's mostly been reading comics, honestly. I
Yeah.
finished the 2000 run of Batgirl. I read some West Coast Avengers. I read Vampironica. I read um, Arkland. I read some other stuff. Lots and lots of graphic novels. I've been having fun
Yeah.
because there's so
Cool.
much other stuff to kind of
Yeah.
explore. But I hadn't noticed how much I'd been focusing on graphic novels until I went. I was actually in the store like, oh, this came out. This came out. Oh, I'm way far behind. I'm catching up on my manga series than I thought. They're like up to volume 10 of Bungo Stray Dogs now. I only have 5.
Oh,
I'm so
wow.
far behind. So yeah, yeah, I'm trying to balance buying graphic novels and manga more,
Yeah.
but that's just how it be.
Yeah. That's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I like made sure to like pick up the Blame issues when there was that really good sale
Hmm.
because you want to get the expensive stuff.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons I bought more graphic novels than manga during it is because graphic novels cost more usually, so when you can get the sale, you'll save more.
Yeah.
So I end up not buying too much manga during it,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate, but I will buy more soon.
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I have like plans to get through all my backlog of stuff.
Hmm.
They had Golden Kamuy
Ooh.
volumes 8 and I didn't pick it up and I feel bad, but
Oh.
I already had Gun Inspector and Royal City, which is a graphic novel by Jeff Lemire.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I need to not pick up a fourth thing right here. As I
Yeah.
saw it on the shelf, I'm like, and that one's like $18. So I'm like, ugh.
Oh. Yeah. That's a lot.
It's the nice oversized. Yeah, actually, it's vid, so it's actually probably closer to like 16. But even still,
Hmm.
like even the graphic novel is only like 13 because Image likes to price their volume ones lower. They make them cheaper, which is nice. And there was also the Indigo exclusive, which Indigo is the like largest Canadian book chain. So
Hmm.
it's got an exclusive cover for being sold to Indigo retailers, which is neat, and it came with a poster.
Oh.
But yeah, I really like Jeff Lemire's work. He did Descender, which is super good, and Descender is about to start coming out, so I'm thinking of subscribing to that digitally, so I can just read it as it comes out, and then just picking up the like uh, physical copies when they come out later on, because they'll take a few months.
Hmm.
I'll be paying like twice as much, but I actually get to read it as it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not anime or manga. Yeah, I guess I played some more Tales of Vesperia. That's kind of anime. That's
That's
pretty
basically anime.
anime. That's pretty anime adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fun. I need to play more of that. I need to beat it. I need to get through. But I haven't been
Hmm.
playing games at all, except for like Torchlight 2. But
Hmm.
rare occurrence. GDQ submission or the games list is about to come out.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, tomorrow. In the off
Oh, tomorrow.
chance Homecoming gets in, I'm
Yeah.
not reading anything anymore because I'll be grinding by Dutterwell.
Yeah.
Remember Me definitely won't get in.
Yeah. I didn't know that was already time for that. Jeez. I'd forgotten.
Yeah. I have to know if I got in immediately so I can go book holidays and
Hmm.
then deal with a bunch of legal stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get my passport changed. I've been too lazy.
Oh.
It might take a while, so I need to like do that as soon as I find out.
Hmm.
If they're like, no, you're not in there, I can be like, fuck it, I'll leave it another month or two.
Yeah.
I'll leave it for when I actually need to leave the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's about all that's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Mm-hmm.
the only other thing I've been listening to is some comics podcasts while at work, because when you work for 8 hours straight, there's nothing quite like a 2 hour long podcast of nerds talking about comics to
Mm-hmm.
save you some time and sanity when you're not
Yeah,
phoning vendors.
that's
It's hard,
pretty good.
yeah, it's hard to find podcasts that are like lengthy enough to kind of
Oh yeah,
get you through the long periods of desk job time.
yeah.
So yeah,
Try to get something with a big backlog. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, that's what I did. It's I've been listening to comics from the multiverse,
Okay.
which is a comics podcast for DC Comics that they started with the launch of Rebirth, so like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there are. That's the wrong podcast I clicked on. There are 147 episodes right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I started listening from the beginning, because at first I was listening forward backwards and I'm like, this is confusing. So I started listening from the beginning, and I'm like 19 episodes in. The early episodes aren't as long because it was the Rebirth like reset everything. So most
Mm-hmm.
of them are around like 80 minutes, but then you get like to all the new stuff is like 140 on
Okay.
average. So it saves more time, or has more time.
Mm-hmm.
But they also started a second podcast elsewhere in the multiverse, which is all Marvel, Image, and other comics. So it gives me 2 podcast episodes a week. Yeah, and then I
Nice.
have the Whelmed Young Justice Files podcast, again, episode of that each week.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm surviving to work on.
Nice.
And the Rooster Teeth podcast one, which apparently in this new one they talk about bees. I haven't gone to it
Ooh.
yet, haven't listened to it, but I hear the rumors.
Mm.
Which, I mean, for Ruby fans, many people like bees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, besides that, it's all true crime podcasts, but those are depressing.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's that's all I got. That's all I got for us
yeah.
this week. I tried
Yeah.
to fill it out as much as possible. I need to actually watch more anime though. I need to
Yeah.
get back and finish Girls Last Tour since I
Oh,
started
yeah.
that, but
Mm.
yeah, just
That's a good
haven't.
show. Yeah. Yeah. I've been watching anime this week. I watched kind of a lot.
Fun.
Kind of. I watched some of the usual stuff though, like Promise Neverland, which was extremely good episode
Was that
this week.
the season finale or is that next week?
It's next week, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, next week. So yeah, I think it's gotten to the part where it's about caught up to where you are when you were reading it, I think. So there's the big fire.
Oh, not only have I read issue one, you're far past where I was
Oh.
reading it. I just had a bunch of it
Oh.
spoiled for me, which is why I didn't
Oh, okay.
catch up immediately. Didn't feel the need
Mm,
to.
okay.
As
Some
always
real wild stuff
happens,
happens.
I get
Yeah.
into something and immediately Tumblr spoils it for me. I'm like, alright, time to read or watch in 5 years. As I
Hmm.
did with Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
And probably one of the
Mm.
worst marathon sessions of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh no, the series is great. Just there's some people you shouldn't marathon shows with. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Promise Neverland is extremely good. I'm looking forward to the next episode. It's done a really good job of like always being surprising. Like
mhm.
you're always thinking like, oh, I think you're always trying to think of like what's gonna happen next with a show like this, and it's constantly swerving, and but
But
like it always makes sense,
yeah,
and it's one of those shows where I bet if you go back and look like, oh, they're actually foreshadowing a lot of this stuff.
yeah, it's like
'Cause they,
realistic swerves.
yeah, it's really good. Uh, and also Magnificent Kotobuki is still it's a lot of fun. Still like the good plans, and they they this episode they very casually revealed a really major plot point,
Mm,
and because like so part of the history of the world is that there at one point some giant portals opened up in the sky and people flew in on planes and showed the people of this world what planes were,
Hmm.
and that's why they have this obsession with planes. But then the portals opened up, and all the people went back, and like they finally explained who those people are and like where they came from, and it's wild.
Mm, interesting.
It's it's like, oh, it's really strange and silly. And it fits how silly this show is.
It'd be cool if it was like, oh yeah, the planes are actually from the spin-off anime in Shiobako that they did.
Yeah,
That I'm certain this was inspired by them working on
yeah,
that.
yeah. That would be extremely good.
It's just like, yeah, there was just a spin-off anime episode where they went to another world, and now we have a spin-off anime based on it. It'd be so meta,
Mm,
so
that
incredibly
would be.
meta.
Oh, yeah. And the other weekly show is Dororo, which that they I didn't realize this show was gonna have two cores, so it's only halfway through. And it's kind of gotten to what I thought was going to be the end of the show, so I don't know what the other half of this is going to be. But they've done a really excellent job of like kind of the main villain guy,
Hmm.
who's Lord Daigo or Yakimaru's father. They've done a really good job of making him be evil, but having his motives be like kind of good, because he's lord of a land and he's like trying to take care of his people.
Hmm.
And they have done a good job of having him be like, I just want to take care of my people, but still feel like he's really hateable. They didn't like so many things would try and make him like really charismatic or charming and try and humanize him a lot, and they're just like, nah, he's evil, he's bad. And I like that. It's refreshing. Too many shows make their villains likable. But yeah,
Yeah, it's like
it's a really good show. Yeah.
likable villains are good and all, but you don't
Hmm.
always need them. Sometimes you just need that one person for you to vent all your shit hating rage on,
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure the second Kurzai out. It's called Sekiro. You Never Die Twice.
Mm-hmm. That, that's not
That's
what that game's called, but
I don't fucking know what it's called. I haven't paid attention.
close enough.
All I know is you're a samurai with prosthetics. It's literally what the second core of this is gonna be. He grows up and did Sekiro.
Yeah, that would be pretty good, actually.
Yeah, if they reveal at the end, oh yeah, Sekiro's actually a Doro spin-off game.
Yeah.
Who knew?
That would be very cool. Actually, totally wouldn't surprise me if the people at FromSoft had read Dororo and were inspired
Mm,
by it. It would not surprise me at all.
yeah, probably not. I mean, it's an iconic Osamu Tezuka piece, isn't it? From like the
Yeah,
60s? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, there's something that I checked out this week that I'm not going to watch any more of called The Leader, which you might remember a couple months ago.
The
It
leader?
was The Leader, yeah. That there was this announcement a couple months ago that China was going to be making an anime about Karl
Oh,
Marx.
Ling Feng Zhe.
Yeah,
Right. Karl
yeah,
Marx.
and it's out. It's 6 episodes, and I watched the first one, and it's garbage. It's so bad. And like when you hear Karl Marx anime, you think that's going to be ridiculous, but then it just ended up being like a love triangle. It was just
That's
Karl Marx
even
likes the lady, and so does another dude, and that's it.
That's
There's like,
even more ridiculous though, because it's China, a
yeah,
communist country, writing or making an anime about a co-author of the Communist Manifesto. You would expect it to
mhm.
be like some propaganda thing, right?
Oh,
But it's a
oh,
love
totally,
story. I mean, it's probably propaganda too, but the fact that they
yeah,
go, we're gonna do it through a love story, like, yeah,
yeah.
nothing screams my devotion to communism like true love. Like,
Yeah, it's real weird. It's like in that first episode, there are like philosophical debates, and they're like, "Oh, look how smart Karl Marx is." And like,
he's always right.
yeah, pretty
Communism.
much. It's so weird. It's like I don't know. It's strange, and also it's a poorly made show. It looks bad. The I don't know. I couldn't say much about the voice acting because it's all in Chinese, but it's
Okay,
oh
you want to know
yeah.
what you need to watch instead of this?
I don't know. What? It's Lance and
Comrade
Masks.
Detective.
Comrade Detective.
It's
Okay.
an American buddy cop series But the premise is, it's based on the premise of popular U.S. action cop buddy films and television shows from the 80s,
Uh-huh.
but presents the episodes as fictional lost Romanian television shows commissioned by the Communist Party to promote a communist worldview during the Cold War. So, all of the episodes were filmed in Romania using local actors and then dubbed into
Uh-huh.
English over top. So they like actually recorded this fake communist propaganda show and then overdubbed it to make it super like pro-American instead. It's one of the
Uh-huh.
most bizarre things. It's so out there and weird. Uh
That.
Starring the voices of Channing Tatum, Joseph
Wow.
Gordon-Levitt, Nick Offerman,
Huh.
Jenny Slate, Jason Mantzoukas, Chloe Sevigny, Jake Johnson, and John DiMaggio. Like,
That sounds wild. I actually do need to check that out.
yeah, that's all that this thing's making me think of. It's like within the show, hard-boiled but troubled Bucharest police detective Gregor Engel and his partner respond to a drug bust against the orders of their captain. This results in a man in a Ronald Reagan mask killing his partner in front of him. Engel, along with his new partner from the countryside, Josef Bakow, must solve his partner's murder. In doing so, they uncover an insidious Western plot to indoctrinate Romanian society with capitalism and religion.
Wow. That sounds wild.
Yeah, they present it as if it's an actual influential Romanian show from the 80s,
Uh-huh.
produced. And yeah, like the whole thing's just pretending this is an actual like lost Romanian show.
Yeah.
It's
That's very
genius.
cool.
There's only 6 episodes, I believe, so it's not very
Mm.
long. It's like a mini
Yeah.
series, but
Cool.
it's on Amazon Video. So,
Huh.
Comrade
I'll have to check that
Detective,
out.
the best
Yeah.
anime, the Romanian anime of all time.
Yeah. This is. Yeah. There was one last thing I watched this week, and if you've seen my Twitter over the past 2 days, you'll know what it is because it was Run with the Wind. I've
Hmm.
been yelling about it nonstop because I love that show a whole lot. 'Cause
Yeah,
I had saved the last 6 episodes because the last one came out today, so I was holding off on watching it and marathon through it all of it, and oh my god, it's so good.
the real reason we
Oh,
delayed a day,
yeah,
so you can
yeah,
talk
the real
about Run
reason.
with the Wind.
Hmm. Oh, I love the good running boys. They're all so good. Oh god, I don't even know where to start with this show. It is the strongest emotional reaction I've gotten out of like a piece of media, maybe ever.
Hmm.
Like, I know part of it is just how it's very relatable to like me specifically, because it's like about running, which is the thing I do, and it's about someone dealing with a knee injury, and also there's just a lot of characteristics of some of the people who are very relatable to my situation in life, and it's like, mm, it's so well done, and these boys, oh, I love them. I like it is a show that was like had me in tears constantly because I was just so like they were running in their final race and like oh I just wanted them all to do so well and they did good, they did a good job. Oh, they ran real well. It like the ending was really good. It was a really good satisfying ending at the end, and oh, mm. Also all of the boys are gay. I don't know if they actually are, but they may as well be.
That's Sports Boys for you.
Yeah. I love that show a whole lot. It's probably become one of my favorite shows ever now. It's oh, I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just so good. I need to like look at my Twitter to see what deep thoughts I had about it because I didn't think to write any of them down in my notes.
I love the
Huh.
duality of this show because you'll talk about
Hmm.
like the emotional impact of shows and how great they are, and like
Yeah.
how good anime can like relate to you. And instead, I'm here like I read American comic book. There was blue-haired girl who was cool and went zappy with guns. Cool.
Yeah.
I relate. I like that's cool to me. And you're here like the emotional impact.
Yeah.
I related. I've gone through like similar like life circumstances. I'm just like zappy zappy. Just fucking uh,
It's the two ends of the spectrum.
the duality of fandom.
Yeah, pretty
E-
much.
Either you're crying or you're shit posting. Sometimes you're doing both.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Mm.
everyone with that Ant-Man meme right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
God, I love that stupid joke.
Mm.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Oh, not a clue.
They're going to defeat Thanos in Endgame because Ant-Man's going to climb up his ass and go back to his normal size.
Oh, okay. That, yeah.
It's so dumb, but like the memes are so good. Wait, there's one really good one I saw.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
showing it. Just the fucking face.
Well, welcome to another episode of Me Mammonigans. Yep, that worked.
Good enough.
Good joke.
Me man me gay me
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It is. Me Animegans. Shememe Animegans. But yeah, just this fucking face. Thanos feeling a little tickle in his ass and realize he hasn't seen Ant-Man on the battlefield for a few minutes.
Wow.
Just the eyes. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's like you get this shit, or you get like deep analysis and like heartfelt tears about how good anime is. There's no in between.
Pretty much.
I love fandom so much.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. So yeah, I Run the Moon was incredibly good. In conclusion, it was extremely good. It was like when I was watching it yesterday, I had to stop watching it because I like had cried so much. I was like, oh, my eyes hurt. My nose hurts from blowing my nose so much. I need to stop now. I physically cannot watch more of this. Oh,
Would you say
it's
your
so good.
nose ran with the wind?
Anyway, moving
The
on.
longer we leave that with no response and just dead air, the funnier it gets.
Yep, that's how jokes work.
That's how terrible jokes work. You just have to leave it. Just see how long it takes for anyone to address it. Just like, no. Alright.
Anyway, moving on.
Alright.
Yeah. So how about that Akka? We already had some thoughts on it earlier.
And we're
Let's
getting
have
into
some
these.
more.
Did you not watch Perfect Blue?
No, not yet.
Alright, soon.
Sometime. I'll try and watch it before next week.
You've probably seen it before, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you had.
Maybe I have, but I just forgot it.
Maybe it was a different Satoshi Kon movie.
Yeah,
Did you watch Paprika?
I think so.
Okay,
I've
that's
seen
probably the one then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember us talking about one a while ago, but yeah, probably Paprika.
Mm-hmm.
I like Satoshi Kon's works in theory, but that kind of mind-bending stuff just... It's a little too heavy for me most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
I've wanted to...
I've seen, like, Paranoid Agent and Paprika, Tokyo Godfathers. So I've seen, like, all of his other major stuff. Or most of it, at least.
I've wanted to see... Sorry?
And Millennium Actress 2. You did that one? Okay.
I've wanted to see the movie Colorful for a while, but it was spoiled for me. It's one of those movies where I don't think I could actually get through it.
Oh.
Same with A Silent Voice. It's like one of those movies that, in theory, it's everything I'd love, but I just can't I can't get myself to watch it. I'm not good with tearjerkers.
Well, yeah. It's understandable.
And people keep spoiling them for me, so I know they're tearjerkers, so I don't want to cry.
Yeah.
That's just how it is online, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we want to get into our Akka and whatnot.
Yeah. Let's start with that guy, since we did get into it a little bit.
So first off,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm wrong about the sister being highly involved. She might still be highly involved in the OVA, so
Mm-hmm.
she might have a very important role in that. Uh, but it's actually thanks to my obsession with thinking she was involved that I keyed in on the chief with the mustache.
Yeah.
I
That
was
was
I
good.
was I was right about him being deeply involved.
Yeah.
So I got one part right.
Yeah.
Did not get
That's true.
right about who the guard was.
Mm-hmm.
Or who Nino was working for, but
Oh
that
yeah. Right.
that was a good twist. I liked it. Like as soon as
That
I saw the
was.
blonde hair and they're not showing the mustache, I'm like, that's not the police officer. That is fucking for sure mustache man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain, and yeah, they're just like, oh, he dyes his hair. I need to go back and watch and see if they mention at any point that he dyes his hair because he's like turning, or like any of them make a reference about him getting old, so his hair is turning gray or something.
Oh
I
yeah.
need to see if there's any of that foreshadowing because
Oh, that would be really good.
yeah, I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention for that, but there might be.
Me either. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I liked their swerve here. It's like everyone is like, oh, Lilium's all here. He's got it all planned. He's all doing it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I did guess part of the plan. Did I say yesterday? I think they were just gonna be like, no, we'll leave the prince in, but we'll just like make him be like, nah, because we're gonna leave Akka in, right?
Mm. Maybe.
I think I said that. I think I said I thought they'd maybe do a deal because I didn't think uh, Otis wanted to be king.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't seem like up his alley. So I kind
Yeah.
of got that right. Which I mean that's less guessing of like plot and the details of how it's gonna go down, and more character, personality, and desires, and like what
Mm-hmm.
the characters want. So it says a lot that I was able to at least figure that out through Otis's character that we'd been shown for the previous 11 episodes. So that like that's good character building there.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike with Lilium, where him being the villain seemed to come out of nowhere. It's like, oh yes, you'd only get this if you were like, oh yes, Lily,
Mm-hmm.
the brown skinned man. He must be the
Yeah.
villain, which that still kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna keep saying how much that pisses
Mm.
me off.
Yeah.
Mm, I'm disappointed in you, Akka writer.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I still wish the five chiefs had a bigger role, but I do like that they address at the end where like, yeah, the five chiefs aren't really necessary anymore. Like they don't really
Mm-hmm.
have a point, which is what it felt like in the show the whole time. So when they say it and they're like, yeah, we're gonna just disband it because it's pointless now and has been pointless, it's like actually yeah, that makes a lot of sense that they would pretty
Yeah.
much show them as being worthless throughout the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
really like that. Um,
Yeah.
I like there was one other hint that the director with the or not director the chief with the mustache was deeply involved when he keeps saying he's like, oh yeah, I'm like I keep trying to transfer but it keeps getting declined and everyone's like,
Mm-hmm.
we have no record of it. You would assume, oh, it needs that means it's getting removed somewhere
Mm-hmm.
before like it would reach those other people. And if he's giving it to his boss and his boss is ripping it up, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I like that little
Mm-hmm.
that bit of foreshadowing there. That he'd be the one keeping him there. Um, it's not the most straightforward because of course there's other ways it could go where it's like, oh, someone else is being paid off to like just pretend it's not, especially when they're hinting like, oh yeah, Graciela is in on the plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out, oh, he is. So it's like, okay, that makes sense that he's not letting him leave. They're saving him for this plot. But then they find out, oh, it's only very recent for, like, now that, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
this would happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's only recent that it got out that he is royalty, because at first they weren't even planning to use him. So it's like, oh, but at that point you've forgotten about it. And then it's like, oh, yeah, it comes back. And it's like, oh, right. And I think that's really nice foreshadowing.
Hmm.
He did some good jobs there. I liked the resolution with most of the stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
Resolving him and Mauve, like, yeah, I know my crush is like unrequited at this point, and she's like, yeah.
Hmm.
And I think they say something about her going on a date with Gossilar, or there's like people talking about it in the
Hmm.
background at one point.
Yeah.
Uh, the Lilium family just being like, alright, I guess we're just leaving Doa. Where
Yeah.
are they the ones on the island anyways? No, but
Maybe.
they're just like, we fucking have oil. Who cares? We're
Yeah.
rich. Uh,
Yeah.
and then the country they kept saying was going to be poor and they didn't want to give their resources to
Hmm.
hits oil and get super rich. And it's
Yeah.
like, imagine if you stayed, because now you wouldn't be spending all of your oil on this other country you don't want to anyways, or this other territory. And
Hmm.
some of their resources would be going back to you. It would even out. You'd get what you
Yeah.
wanted, but they
Hmm.
wanted to rule, so
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah. That bit about Pernetta suddenly getting resources and oil and stuff, and suddenly becoming like very important. That was literally the only thing in this entire episode that I remembered going into it.
Mm.
It's like I didn't remember like the like faking out William and Mauve going like, oh, this was resulting in exercise. I'd completely forgotten that happened.
I love that move. Just like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
move
it's so
coming in,
good.
like, nah, fuck you. And they like
Yeah.
purposely let the guards move in,
Hmm.
which makes you wonder if they alerted the guards first
Yeah.
that they were going to do this too. Like, we're going to do this, and maybe that's why. I don't know if that'd be intentional. Why they're so like, oh, I don't like or whatever. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm curious too because they kept talking about, oh, the Privy Council like knows and has said they're okay with this. Did the Privy Council know that they were going to say, ah, no, it's just a like a fake illusion or whatever,
Hmm.
or what? Or if he thought they were actually going to oust him, he's like, I gotta teach him a lesson, poor kid.
Yeah.
Um, it warms my heart to know that Lotta and Otis get to see their grandpa, and he gets to see them
Yeah.
while he's
That
old
was
and in
nice.
bed. Yeah. Uh, got some happy endings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was nice.
yeah. And Prince ended up being less of a dickbag in the end.
Yeah. Slightly less. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's also realized if he tries to disband Akka, they're just gonna overthrow him. Like,
Hmm.
what a show of
It's
force.
yeah. That's kind of the interesting thing is like yeah it's like the fake out still ends up being like like you said the show of force where it's like no we could do this
Hmm.
and it's like oh it's like Ak is still kind of in control now.
Hmm.
It's like it's they kind of did a coup but not really.
Yeah.
It's like I have like Mauve could probably order him around to do whatever she wants because he's like oh they could oust me at any point so he just has to cooperate with them all the time.
But
It's
they get the
interesting.
focus on Mauve instead of Lilium, so he can't pretend to be a hero and push off it. But I think
Yeah.
another point wasn't so much just the show of force, but they
Hmm.
got the crowd to voice their actual opinions on him. And Moser is
Yeah.
very negative, and I think that's probably a big part to
Hmm.
him seeing that his country's residents aren't on his side.
Yeah.
Probably tells him a lot about like what he knows and how he's been paying attention to other people.
Hmm. Yeah.
My favorite part of character development for the prince, though, is when he's pissed off all of his guards and he's sulking like, Mackie, you said you'd like buy me sandwich bread.
Oh,
He
yeah.
wanted the sandwich bread in the end afterwards. He's just a huge tsundere, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Tsundere prince.
Mm,
Yeah. I don't think I have too much more.
mm. Yeah, I have a couple of things. There's one of the things that it was in the last episode as well. It was in this episode too that there are occasionally these shots where they'll show a bunch of like ACA people,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like it's not the top people, it's not the main plot people. It's just here's the ACA people, but it's like, oh, these are all the people from the districts that Gene visited,
Mhm.
and it's this really cool moment of like in most shows, if it shows a crowd of people, it's just a crowd of people, but it's like, hey, I recognize these people. I may not remember their names or anything
Mhm.
about them, but I've seen them before. I know that they have names, and that's just this cool little thing. That
Yeah, I really liked in the log crowd shots they would differentiate the uniforms based on the region
mm-hmm.
too, and you could like it would stand out
Yeah.
and you could see it. That was nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even
That
like if they
was.
weren't just random background people, they
Mm-hmm.
still had like distinct silhouettes and uniforms per group, sort of, so you could instantly get a bit of backstory for each one and where they were from.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we got a tiny bit of backstory on the five chiefs too. Uh,
Yeah.
the gambler guy
Oh
who's
yeah.
like immediately makes into are you gonna leave the game called Doa Kingdom or and then he's like
Yeah.
talking about betting at the end and stuff
Yeah.
once he's retired and then Pine working on like the distributing the foods. He's from the giant country area
Mm-hmm.
territory.
He's gonna
And
give gigantic strawberries to medieval France or whatever.
yeah, in medieval France, he's like he who earlier made him seem like he was partly in charge for covering up the uprising. It was actually more
Mm-hmm.
him listening to your uprising. It's like the people here, I'm certain, like I trust them. I believe they also love this country and its scenery, because it's the
Mm-hmm.
scenery he cares about, not how the people live their lives. It's like
Yeah.
more protect the architecture. Almost, he's like we're gonna let them like vote for whoever they want, so those people can like push to be like, yeah, bring in more
Mm-hmm.
modern shit, which sounds like it's what they're doing because they're saying it's like thriving and being
Mm-hmm.
brought up to be an actual territory instead of like a miniature nation,
Yeah.
which is nice. It's like reaching the autonomy of all the other territories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Probably become a massive tourist hub for the scenery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And kind of my one other thought on this show is that monarchies are bad. I think they're just inherently bad. And
Yeah.
so to have the end of this show be like, we're just gonna keep the monarchy going because things are fine.
I
It's
think
like,
that's similar to just like how the Japanese monarchy is. They have no real power anymore, the
yeah,
Japanese emperor. Kind of like how the Doa Kingdom has been shown to have no power over Aka, the true
yeah,
government.
that's
So
true.
it's like
Yeah,
Mav is basically the president of.
yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah, I another thing I like how they're like, yeah, we're just gonna leave it as the 13 territories, even though there's only 12 now, because
mm-hmm.
we're open and welcome to them coming back if they want.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because no one's ever gonna be like that. Like Britain goes, we're doing Brexit, and you's like, I
Yeah,
fuck off, nerds, don't come back.
yeah.
We'll
I'd
maybe
be getting
take,
that
we'll,
extension.
yeah, but they're like, yeah, get out of here. You can't even figure out a plan.
Yeah. Oh God.
Just like now you're
Oh,
voting to see if you want to come back. You can't do that. You already said you're leaving, so leave. You're destroying the economy of so many countries with your flip
yeah,
flopping. Except we'll maybe take Scotland if they leave if they leave the
yeah.
UK. Because apparently Scotland's been talking about possibly leaving the UK if the UK actually leaves and then
Okay.
trying to join the EU still.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real mess if that happens. I think the
Yeah.
fact that the UK's not left because of their own incompetence and bumbling is the
Mm-hmm.
only reason um, that
Oh,
Scotland hasn't had a vote yet.
yeah.
And what the fuck does that do to Ireland, right? Because like
Yeah.
Northern Ireland
Yeah.
and their open
People say it'll be
travel,
real bad.
you can't have the open travel anymore because
Yeah.
one will be part of the EU and one won't.
I've heard people saying that it'll be like there'll be checkpoints again, and the last time there were
There
checkpoints, they
was
were
the
real bad.
RRA, yeah, that's when the
Yeah.
RRA came around. So yeah,
Yeah, that's so.
Oh.
I don't know. Get your shit together, UK.
But
Oh.
yeah, that's what tiny island nations with monarchies and dealing with succession are
Hmm.
going through right now. That sounds about
Yeah.
right. That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, Aka. I I still like this show, but I think I like it less than I did then
Yeah,
when I
it's
watched it.
really fun except for the who the villain is. That's just
Yeah.
stereotypical and shitty and lazy. I gave it an 8, which was
Hmm.
marking it high already. If not for the whole thing with Lilium, I'm actually going to change that
Hmm.
to a 7 now that I've realized they also were queer coding as well. It loses a mark
Yeah.
for loses a mark for the racism, loses a mark for the
Yeah.
shitty, not actually building up to a twist, but just it's racism, and loses a mark for queer coding the villain as well.
Hmm.
So it's just losing 3
Yeah.
marks. It would have been a 10, honestly, if it wasn't Lilium. Or if,
Hmm.
like, there was other brown-skinned characters and it wasn't the only
Yeah.
one, like,
Yeah.
the
That was
only
very interesting.
non-Japanese or white person. Like,
Yeah. Because like basically all of the other districts read as white people to me, and
yeah, which
like
is,
the one exception being like Grossulars has like
I
a
was
hint of
about
Native
to
American
say,
to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a hint of Native American, but they're all like, I think that's less Native American and more Ainu themed. Because
Mm.
they're clearly not, like, they look very white and with the
Yeah.
white hair. Maybe it's Native American and they're going to say something like I but
Mm.
they don't look that different from like all the other people to
Yeah.
the point
That's the
where they
thing.
wouldn't look white.
Hmm.
It can probably be either. It could
Yeah.
be Ainu themed or Native American, First Nations,
Hmm.
yeah, one of them,
Uh,
depending on
yeah.
where. But I think most likely it's probably closer to Ainu theme because it doesn't seem like this author would care enough or know enough to look
Hmm.
that far into other cultures or
Yeah.
those with other
Oh.
skin tones because boy,
Yeah. The reason I would call it Native American is just like that that district seems so like Western movie, like
yeah,
Wild West movie
it
themed, and so it's
really
just like
does.
they just have the like poncho things and
Hmm.
they're like feathers in their hair and like that's it.
It's
So
almost
it's
like a
like
weird mix of Native American and Mexican.
yeah, yeah, that's why it's like Western movie. It's
Yeah.
just like mishmashing all this stuff together, and it's like I saw a couple movies one time.
Actually, that would make some sense because it seems like a lot of the districts are based off like movie stereotypes. Because there's like
Yeah.
the Las Vegas area, there's like the cold winter mountains,
Mm-hmm.
there's the other desert.
Yeah. There's the desert with stuff in it and the desert without stuff in it.
But there's like the French rural town where fucking
Yeah.
nothing's there.
Yeah.
What was the first place you went to? Because that place is like the most just average.
Mm.
I
I
forget his
forget.
name, but yeah, there's that one place that's just super average, which is kind of funny now. It's like, what
Yeah.
was it just average because they couldn't think of something neat, or they didn't want to immediately introduce you to like really differing ideas, and they just
Something
want to
weird.
slowly
Yeah.
build
I don't
the
know.
different territories from what you would expect to what you wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the Hawaiian themed one too,
Oh yeah. Right.
which is funny because it seemed like a bunch of Japanese people in Hawaii, but
Hmm.
there's always been a large Japanese uh, population in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
So,
Mm. Yeah.
mhm.
I think is that all we got for Aka?
Yeah,
Is that,
that's about all I
mm,
got.
yeah.
I'm dropping it to a 7 because of the realization that it's
Yeah.
also a queer-coded villain, but
Yeah. Yeah. I had it at an 8 before and I dropped it to a 7 as well.
I managed to
Hmm.
figure out some of the plot. stuff, some
Yeah.
major plot stuff, multiple episodes before it finished, so I'm a little proud of
Yeah.
myself there. Uh,
Hmm.
Even if it wasn't through the right way and the sister wasn't actually as involved.
Yeah. Hey, you never know that OVA. It's gonna be she masterminded the whole thing.
Yeah, it's going to be him passing away, the prince is gonna die in an accident, and Lotta's gonna take over.
That would be fantastic.
God, what a twist.
Oh, yeah.
Lotta marries Lilium,
Mm.
and they
Oh,
take
jeez.
over. Oh boy, that would be weird.
Oh, it would be. Speaking of being weird, Children of the Whales is being weird.
Yeah,
That's yeah. That's a good enough segue. Go
sure.
ahead, keep going. Yeah, this was a weird episode and a weird show. To
Yeah.
just kick this episode off with what they've been doing the whole time of introduce a thing and be like, yeah, here's this thing, it's weird, and we may or may not mention it anymore because they're just like, oh yeah, sarka, it's this meat that we can use to
Hmm.
reduce the amount of emotions gets taken away. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
it's a weird thing to mention now, but
I haven't
okay.
seen that in the manga yet, but
Yeah,
it opens up so many questions and possibilities. Like,
yeah,
you could
and
save the people on the whale, but also, are you killing them? Do they just raise a bunch of those fucking things to, like,
hmm,
serve? I don't know.
yeah, but yeah, it was so weird. Like, whole beginning chunk of this episode was them in on that like in that town following the dude whose name I don't remember, Lycos's brother,
Hmm.
and like they were talking about the Sarka and they were like getting the ship and doing all this stuff, and it's like it was blowing my mind why they were doing this because like what is happening? Like none of this is going to pay off. You aren't
They
going to suddenly do something.
they did say it was gonna be continued at the end, so Netflix did
Yeah,
assume they were gonna have a second season.
yeah.
Eventually, it's been 2 years.
Has it really been 2 years?
Yeah,
Jeez.
2017, or I guess it's a
Mm.
year and a half because October to December.
Oh, yeah.
But
It wouldn't surprise me if it was like Netflix has been quietly funding it and just hasn't announced anything yet.
I wouldn't be
Maybe.
surprised if it didn't do well enough, so they just gave up on it
Yeah,
quietly as
that
well.
that would also not surprise me.
Knowing
So
Netflix.
yeah, it's hard to tell with them. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't have a lot of notes for like the middle of this episode because it was just I don't know. We got more of the twins shouting stuff, and then what's his name? Oni came and beat him up again. I was like, cut that out again.
You stop
I
that
just
shit.
yeah, like seeing how this episode went. I can see a little bit more of like why they were squeezing all this stuff in because they wanted to end on Suo's big speech with him like, "Together we'll find a way. Like we'll
Hmm.
get through this together," and this whole unity thing. And so
Yeah.
like, okay, you can't end on that without having the twins do their thing, and
Hmm.
like you need to have the other people show up, and you need to have such and such happen. But like that, it seems like they should have found a different place to end it on because they had to do so much cramming in the end, and it just like it felt really clumsy of just really rushing to get to this end. Mm. Like, oh, this like that was kind of indicative of like the whole show. Like the whole show just felt clumsy and cramped at times. Of like they're squeezing all these things in, and none of it gets the time it needs, and like so none of it gets really well executed, and so I never got really attached to anything or anyone, and so then when stuff tries to wrap up and tries to have payoffs, like nothing lands, and so everything just ended up falling flat in the show,
Like,
and so yeah,
I was gonna agree with you. The only character they
yeah,
actually build up to their death is Maso,
yeah.
but then he like
Who was Massa?
he's the guy who
Was
died this episode after like
oh okay,
his power. He
yeah,
faded away so quickly though. Like I wasn't expecting that. I think it
mm-hmm,
would have like he's the only one we've sort of had time to get invested into. But I feel like
yeah,
it would have been stronger if instead of in like an episode and a half, he's just suddenly gone from yeah I'll drink booze with you to oh he's dead. Um,
yeah,
if they actually had it like this slow, painful, like passing away as it just slowly eats at him more and more, I think it would have been a
Mm-hmm.
lot stronger and had a lot more payoff.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how fast that went. But, I mean, that's the other side is you don't know when this is going to strike, and it takes them so fast. It's
Mm-hmm.
scary in its own way, kind of.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a bunch of the guard captain being angsty because he fucking got his wife to commit suicide, and he's like, "Fuck, but we lived. I thought I was going to die real soon." Like, what the fuck is that? He's like, "Yeah, I pretended none of it mattered to me, but I guess it does."
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, emotions. I guess that's what it is. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, I gave the anime a 6, which is a shame because I think I have the manga down at like a 9 or something. The
Mm-hmm.
manga is so much better. Just pacing, the order of scenes helps a lot because the order in this is a mess.
Yeah.
And then you get like the back pages that are like out of what's his name's journal that give you like all of that information and detail that you're missing that you'd want to know,
Mm-hmm.
sort of. So you're never kind of running out of that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Mm.
find if I rated it, but yeah, it's I haven't given a rating. Okay, but I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah. This. I kind of do want to check out the manga because there's so many like cool ideas here that were clearly just not well done in the anime. They were not done justice. So like, I do kind of want to pick up the manga.
yeah.
But I have so many series I want to pick up. So I'm
I
kind of
feel I
that was on
feel
the
you
back
on that.
burner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's one of those series that's just like the concepts are there. You just
Mm-hmm.
need the execution, kind of.
Yeah.
Which I totally get that. There's a few series I feel that way about. But
Mm-hmm.
there were some really nice high points of this series, like some of the scenes that had like the weird experimental animation and
Yeah.
like crazy dream imagery. Some of that stuff was super cool.
Yeah. It had some good moments.
Yeah, it had some really cool visual moments. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
give it a 7. I probably would have given it a 7 if I hadn't read the manga. But because
Mm-hmm.
I've read the manga, I was just so let down. I was like, no, you're a
Oh yeah.
6.
Yeah. Yeah. I rated it as a 6 as well. It's just. Uh, it's like like there's so much. There's something here. There's so much good stuff here. They just bungle it.
Yeah,
It's too bad.
well,
Mm.
I've got the manga to catch up on now. I purposely sat off it because I didn't want to, like, spoil too much so I could talk about it more.
Oh yeah.
And then I should have just kept reading. I should
Yeah.
have put myself on hold for that.
Oh.
One
Well,
of,
you can go back to reading it now.
yeah, one of the many series I need to binge through.
Mm-hmm.
All caught up on Blame as of today.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next series to catch up on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. I don't know. I feel like I should have more to talk about with whales. I guess the only other thing I have is the Lycos' brother. There was that scene of him being creepy with his lady assistant.
Oh yeah,
Just like saying he's gonna marry her or something.
he's giving her
That
emotions.
was,
Yeah, he's like, "You're my wife now."
yeah.
That's such a. It's
Ugh.
interesting because it's such this creepy, like, abuse of power, even more so than before, where
Mm-hmm.
it's basically like, your life is in my hands or whatever, but it's also like, oh yeah, she's being given this thing to give her emotions back. So if she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to lose her emotions again, which I think most people once they start to feel emotions probably won't want to lose them again. In
Yeah.
most cases, except it's hinted that he wants them gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like you have to go along with him in his position of power if you want your emotions. Like, even your emotions are held hostage, which is, I think, a very good metaphor for like an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
So like that's a really neat concept in how fucked up that could be. But yeah, the anime,
Mm-hmm.
of course, because it's the end, isn't going to delve into it at all. But
Yeah.
I hope to see some of that in the manga, because and it's also neat because it's like the exact opposite of his sister and Chakro, because Chakro's like
Mm-hmm.
his job is like a record keeper like hers, where
Mm-hmm.
he's giving her emotions back. Um, in on the whale, it's his sister choosing to gain her emotions back to like one is being forced to take her emotions back and the other is choosing to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of. And it's like these neat parallels there that I would like to see
Yeah.
explored, but
Yeah.
once again, cool concepts, not the best execution.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was the other thing about this episode was the like kind of romance plot with Chakuro,
Hmm.
because they had that flashback to that girl whose name I don't remember.
She died in
Of
episode 2.
yeah, like yeah, like had this
Sammy.
flashback to them talking and him not understanding her feelings, and then immediately after that have him with Lycos, and they're just like kind of holding hands and being like
Yeah.
kind of a thing, and it's just weird. And like
Uh,
it felt like any like potential romantic relationship stuff just like hadn't really been built, and like they're I don't know,
yeah. Oh yeah,
strange.
that reminds me, the scene where he's giving his speech and then suddenly
Hmm.
Chakro, who's watching the speech, is chasing after the two things that is suddenly on top of the tower to catch Lycos. That was
Oh
really
yeah,
weird. That was really poorly done. Like, those
yeah,
cuts made no sense. Like, he just teleported around the island while
yeah.
this speech was going on. I don't know if it's supposed to be in linear time with the speech or happening, like,
Hmm.
after, but then cutting back to before, but they made no way to notice that, like no like difference in sun or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, it wasn't good. And then the scene where they getting it to move again, so they're doing the
Hmm.
dance and singing and thing, but then they changed it so there's people running around in circles and stuff. It's like that's not how it happened
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
The fuck is this?
It's
It,
real weird.
yeah, it's a shame because they saved this big scene for the finale and they just completely like fucked it up.
Yeah.
They did not nail that scene at all, and it was one they needed to nail,
Hmm.
which is a shame.
Oh yeah. That's kind of been this whole show, or been a lot of it at least.
Yeah,
It's like you need to get this right, and then just don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only stuff they kind of got right was like the dream sequences, because some of those were super cool.
Yeah. Those
But
are pretty good.
yeah, when they got like experimental with their animation is where they nailed it. But they didn't do that enough. I think if they did a lot more experimental animation,
Hmm.
that could have possibly carried it a bit more.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the strong points of the show when they did, but when they didn't, it felt so much lacking in comparison.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Mm.
I think that's all I've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. Me too. So yeah, but that does it for Akka and for Wales. It's two more shows in the books. Oh, we've watched a lot of anime for this podcast.
Well, we really have. It's
Yeah.
at least for full shows.
Yeah.
I mean, this is season
16.
8. Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Plus all the OVAs and movies. Plus the
Yeah.
shows we started and then dropped. I need
Yeah.
to go back and
That's.
finish Kimiko DX.
Oh no.
I
No,
really
you don't.
don't. Speaking of
No.
racist shows,
Oh jeez.
oh boy.
There are so many other shows you should watch first. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we need to pick an OVA for next week.
Yes. So we were
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
looking at some.
We talked about it a little bit.
Perfect Blue. I don't know if that's actually streaming anywhere.
I no
Okay with
idea.
those, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like your suggestion of Ruin Explorers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me
That show.
let me pull that up here.
Yeah.
Run Explorers. I didn't even look at what was on Crunchyroll because it's so hard to find what's in OVA.
Yeah.
Tihikyo
That's
Tenkin.
that is the one advantage of having VRV is said series or movies.
Oh,
And so you can just quickly scroll through
I,
the feed and click on
yeah.
all the things to the movie.
I
It's
think
very
that's because
convenient.
of their partnership with High Dive, who that's how their site is set up.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's on High Dive. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I forgot to look at Amazon Video too.
Oh, yeah. I imagine Amazon is weird in terms of
I think that's like,
availability and
yeah, they have like the Nanoha movies, I think, or maybe not the movies, but the show, which is really weird because no one else has them.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm just looking at some other stuff. Yeah, you can't search by movie on Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
which is
Trying to find things
unfortunate.
on Crunchyroll is a pain. I really hate their like the ability to browse things on
Yeah,
Crunchyroll
it's
is
not good.
abysmal.
It's
It's like you want to see the most popular things or just an alphabetical list of everything.
or the new stuff. Like it's good for finding
Yeah.
what's new, but nothing
Yeah.
else.
Or
Um,
like
that's where you just hit random over and over again and be like, what did we get?
see what happens. Just
Koro
roll the
Sensei
dice.
Quest.
Mm.
Oh, that's Assassin Classroom spinning off
Oh.
mini series thing. Fox Spirit
Mm.
Matchmaker. That's 24 episodes. That's too long for movies.
Yeah.
Diabolic Lovers 2, More Blood. That's actually
Oh, cool.
that's such a meme title. I love it.
Yeah.
Yona
Huh.
and the Solitary Fortress. We found a movie that looks like it was
Oh,
made with PS2 graphics
nice.
from 2006. Oh, we got a movie. And I don't even see a tag here for a movie to search off of. Oh,
Yeah.
it's only 33 minutes, huh?
Huh. It was a 2006 Japanese anime fantasy adventure short film directed by Kengo Takeuchi.
But,
Released on April 8, 2006.
but yeah, that's how hard it is to search on Crunchyroll. I just had to hit random like 4 times.
Yeah.
What was some of the other stuff we had though?
Some other stuff.
Yeah.
You also brought up Pat Labor, the first movie.
All
So
right.
that's on High Dive. And then the Asylum Session. So that seems cool too, the Asylum Session. It has a weird name,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
for what
apparently
it
it's like
is,
about
it's
street art.
yeah. Yeah, Amazon's movie section doesn't have anime, I don't think, or if it does, it doesn't. It's not
I've,
clear because you go to the movie section. Oh, they have Jinro, the Wolf Brigade,
yeah.
which is live action. That's anime related.
Mhm.
Anime movies. Ruby, Kite Captor. Oh, they have Kite Captor Sakura the movie. I found it.
Nice.
Technotize, Edit, and I.
Mm.
What? They have the Love Live movie, the Pokemon movies, and Robotech, and whatever the fuck the wall is. This doesn't look like anime.
The Wall?
Yeah, ooh, they have Robot Carnival. Mystic Line. Yeah, the
Mm.
wall. This doesn't look like anime. Let me pull this up here so you can see this.
Yeah.
The the wall. It's like something about North Korea.
Mm.
I don't know. Oh, they have some shows on here. I didn't realize they did this go. But yeah, Techno
Mm.
ties an eye. In the future, an attractive and savvy student named Edit has trouble with her exams and her pervy teacher. She injects an illegal chip into her bloodstream that can enhance one's ability to memorize things tenfold, but also create vivid hallucinations.
Huh.
85 minutes from 2009. There's like a bear and a rabbit here. I don't know. Ruby's here. That's not really a movie. The Fist of the North Star, the movie.
Oh.
Arcadia, My Youth. Lily Cat. That was
Mm.
a movie. Care Bears,
Not
Ups and
sure.
Down. That's anime.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have that much anime movies. They have some that's surprising
Yeah.
though.
It,
some weird stuff.
So Amazon is so like weird and organized to me because it doesn't let you just separate out anime. Or at
Yeah.
least I haven't seen a way to do that. It's just like here's stuff, and some of it is anime.
Yeah, well, it's like they'll sometimes have a section that's just like anime movies, and you see more, and there's like nothing. Like they have Pokemon, the
Mhm.
movie 2003, and then Lucario and Mew, and then they're missing every other Pokemon movie.
Mhm.
And it says there's 4 pages, but it like just stops after 2. I wonder if I have hentai turned off.
Oh.
What the fuck is the mystical laws? It says nothing about it. Suspense, science fiction, anime drama from 2015. Alright. Yeah, there's... Ooh, Dragon Blade. They have Amethyst Princess of Gemworld on here?
Wow.
Shit, I need to watch that later. That's a DC cartoon. That's I had no idea that existed on here.
Huh.
Eh. But yeah, no, I think. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I like lost signal to my monitor when I closed Amazon. Weird. Yeah, I think our
Oops.
best bet is High Dive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, you were looking at some stuff too. Five
Yeah.
numbers or Lugaro?
Lucaru. Yeah. I think I mentioned them before when we've looked at OVAs.
Yeah, I know we've looked at five
Yeah.
numbers before.
Yeah. It's like people escaping from a weird jail. That sounds cool. Then I forget what Lucaru is. I know
Yeah,
it means werewolf in French. It's the only French I remember. 3 years in high school, and that's all I got.
yeah, five numbers seems cool.
Hmm.
I'm trying to find. Oh my god, Kaiju Mondo? It's some
What?
dude that fights kaijus. Some wrestler. Live action comedy. Yeah,
If we could watch that.
we could. Lady Death.
Mm.
Edgy.
Yeah.
Theatrical. 15th century Sweden. Hope, the beautiful daughter of Matthias, believed to be a skilled mercenary, but who is actually in who yeah, but who in actuality is Lucifer, the Lord of Lies, is accused of being the devil's consort. Could you imagine that? We're accusing you of being the devil's consort. It's like, haha, you've all been tricked. I am no devil's consort. I am the devil. Like, fucking get on my level. Get
That's
tricked.
hilarious. That's
God.
very silly.
Yeah. Okay, where Lou Giro. After a
Hmm.
virus claims millions, most live in the safety of a closed-off world, relegating themselves to an online existence. But when a young girl decides to brave life outside the virtual world, she finds a group of friends and a killer. But who? Yeah, that sounds very neat too.
Hmm. Mm.
Where is the other one? I want to see how many episodes Ruin Explorers was.
I think it was 4 half-hour episodes when I looked. Uh,
There
yeah,
it is.
4 half-hour episodes.
Okay, so that's a bit long. If we do that one, we wouldn't be able to do another. Uh,
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. Uh, I think because I don't remember how long Asylum Session is, but I know Loop Guru is an hour and a half. 5 numbers is like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then
Asylum Sessions
Asylum.
is log in to find out. It's also got 2 stars. Ooh,
Oh, it's 1 hour.
spooky. Okay.
Yeah, and is a 5 on Mal. So
Everyone can see my throwaway email I use for
oh,
for
that's okay.
entry into contests.
Mm,
I logged in
nice.
and it's immediately like bloom into you. It's like yes, keep making me feel bad
Yes.
for not
Oh,
watching that. Thank
oh,
you.
you should watch Bloom too. It's good.
I need to finish it. I'm halfway through.
Yeah. Oh, so much good anime that you need to watch.
I know, but there's so much good
Oh,
stuff I need to read as well.
true.
And so much good stuff I need to play.
Oh, also very true.
Now Hideout doesn't want to load now that I've logged in.
Of course.
Of course. But yeah, so
Hmm.
what do you think? Do we want to do two things, or do we want to just do one and try to like deep dive it, or
Uh, let's do two things.
alright.
It's mixed up. Because usually we only do one when we do this, but we'll do two this time, I
And
think.
we usually only do one because we're still doing an episode of another show,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
we
true.
end up doing two things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you. I get you.
Hmm. So we say, what about five numbers and asylum session?
Wait. What about the
What?
Girls in Panzer movie?
Oh, we could do that, I guess.
Oh,
I
oh,
might have seen it. I'm not
Hoshizo
sure.
Kiseki. I have, but like because we're just talking about the problem is that requires people to have seen the show.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
The
But,
movie's just so good.
mm,
It's fantastic. I love it. I can't wait for the next movie.
yeah.
Speaking of that, I think they announced the release date sometime for the Princess Principal, the first one of those movies,
Oh, yeah.
which
I
we
think
forgot
they
for
did.
news. But yeah.
So yeah, asylum session and five numbers. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right. We'll do that.
Alright, I'll just have to
Cool.
add Rune Explorers to my own list. Add to
Yeah.
queue. Because I like that kind of old 90s animation style.
Yeah. That does look like fun. That show.
Yeah.
I'll watch it someday.
It's still funny to me that they have all the girls in Panzer stuff except for the one real Anzio battle OVA, I think,
Mm-hmm.
unless if they've added it under the OVAs. Nope, it's not there. Which is really weird. They have everything else. I had to buy the Blu-ray for it to watch it, and I got it
Mm-hmm.
cheap on sale. But so I have the Real Anzio Battle Blu-ray, and I don't have anything else. I don't have the show. I don't have the OVAs. I don't have the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to get those.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I should go and finish watching as much of the Girls and Panzer stuff as I can because I've seen the show and I think I've seen like one of the movies. I didn't watch. I watched like some of the OVAs, but I've completely lost track of what I have and haven't seen, so I've given up on it. It's been a couple years now.
Yeah, I just have to watch the OVAs to
Mhm.
catch up. I just realized there's a Razafon motion picture. Like there's a movie
Oh,
version part of it.
nice.
With the new
Okay.
vision, what was and what could have been. So it's like an alternate universe.
Huh.
Razefon. Oh, I need to finish that show. That first episode was so good.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a
I've
bunch of
had
weird stuff
Raza
here I
Fun on
missed.
my plan to watch list because of you. I see it every week. Like maybe I'll start watching that soon, but I never
Oh,
do.
there's some other stuff here I completely missed.
Mm.
Because I don't usually look for OVAs, so I just completely missed that they're here.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's the Vampire Hunter D movie. They have that.
Oh yeah.
I,
Huh.
I want to watch that sometime. My queue's so
Yeah.
big and I don't actually watch anything. It's like, oh, what
Mhm.
you doing? I need to start binging some stuff.
Yeah. Me too. I started to be better about that at the beginning of the year. Like I'm gonna work through all these planned watch lists and actually watch stuff, and then I stopped. Mm.
I've been doing that. Just I've been doing it mostly with my reading over everything else.
Yeah,
So it's just
that
like
makes sense.
getting through stuff, but getting through different stuff than what is here.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyway,
It's
we're
all
still
about.
podcasting. We should end this podcast. Oh,
Sure.
you just you just brought pastel memories on the stream,
Yeah.
and they removed the second episode of that show
Wait, from High Dive?
because yeah,
Yeah,
you
why?
can't. So I'm going to double check. It's in another Discord. People were talking about it, but there was like something about the second episode. To like, they had to read the second episode because they were afraid they might get sued or something. And the characters got cut out of it to not be in the rest of the show anymore or something. It's so strange. I don't know.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find...
Yeah, it was... Okay, the second episode was a parody of Is the Order a Rabbit?
Oh, okay.
And apparently they were a little too close to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing some stuff. If they're under the same, like, licensor for the Japanese anime, that's not an issue, but I could see it becoming a problem once it's, like, being licensed outside of Japan. Because that same thing happened with, the first episode to, Osumatsu-san. Yeah. So you have to find it elsewhere. That's actually so funny, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
anyway,
I want to watch this even more now. They got an episode removed. Whew.
Yeah.
And I like Is the Order a
show's
Rabbit.
bad, so.
Yeah. I like The Order is a Rabbit though. They announced a new season of it. I still have to watch the OVA for that. I don't think they have that here though. I mean they don't, but I've got both seasons on Blu-ray, so hopefully I'll pick up the OVA on Blu-ray soon too. Yeah, there's so much stuff on High Dive now.
Yeah.
It's really been picking up. Like Dream Eater Mary. None of this stuff is like Dream Eater Mary.
Yeah. That's silly. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's it for the podcast this week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week with the last episode of Season 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it's YouTube channel, Shenanimegans.moe. You should go subscribe to it, because it's really good.
Even though we don't upload content. Yeah. It's like, when's the last time we put up anything besides the late episodes? I promise we'll get new content soon. End of the month, I'll be recording my graphic novel collection and hopefully my manga collection. Maybe my anime collection. 3 separate collections.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll start putting those up, and then I'll start doing whole videos again. I kept putting it off because I kept meaning to do my collection videos, but I kept somehow screwing, like, something would go weird or wrong with it. I'd be like, I wasted all that time. Fuck it, not doing it until next month, basically.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, like, keeping stuff sorted out to do a whole video instead. It was all just, like, mixed in because I was doing a collection video, so I'm like, no. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This weekend, there will be the graphic novel collection for sure, and then probably the next few weekends I'll have the other stuff. So there'll be content for you all. Yay, content.
Yeah.
I'm just doing the graphic novel one first because it's like one of the smaller ones, so it's easier. Easier to do without fucking up. The anime one's actually smaller and easier, but I need to finish organizing it with the binder where I'm putting it all in, so that'll be neat. I'll just be flipping through a binder looking at discs and be like, wait, which fucking anime was this disc for again? But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, catch that good content on Shenanimegans.moe. Or you can catch the other good content live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sasam, SASAM. Or you can talk about our good content in our Discord at shenanimegans.moe/Discord. Or follow us on Twitter for definitely good content there. I'd say some bots to that last thing.
And feel free to talk about our good content on your own Twitters as well and advertise us, because we're not going to say no to that.
Yeah. Tell all your friends about your favorite anime podcast, because that's us, because we're the only anime podcast.
The only.
Yep.
Eventually. We will outlive them all.
Yep, so yeah. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Remember, the opposite of being bad is dab.
Oh, I hate it.